Hi, my name is Charlie Doherty.
Hi, I'm Sophia.
I'm from the CATV News and Media Camp.
I'm with CATV.
And you are?
My name is Matt Bucy. I live in White River Junction and have been here since 1985.
Also learned that you are a pilot.
What was it like your first time flying?
I don't really remember. I did it when I was like 13 or 14.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, I mean, I was in the pilot seat and the pilot let me take off and everything, but...
Were you excited or scared?
I was super excited. It was my birthday and I wanted to go flying for my birthday. So it sparked my interest in flying. So I called up the local flying school here and asked them if I could take lessons. I took a couple lessons. The flying school closed. I ended up taking over the flying school and running it, and then I figured out that was a pretty bad business. So I started a flying club, and now I run the flying club at the Lebanon Airport, which has 2 airplanes, and we have 45 members now.
What was it like flying?
Flying is a lot of fun. It's a lot of responsibility too. The pilot who flies is responsible for figuring out if the plane is called airworthy, you know, whether it's good to go. So you just got to check everything before you take off, and then once you get up in the air, taking off is easy, flying is pretty easy, landing is the hard part. So that's the thing that requires the most skill.
And what led you to reinvest in White River Junction?
It was pretty random. I was renting a house out in Thetford, and I just didn't want to rent anymore, so I started looking for places to buy, and I saw some old buildings for sale and called up the real estate people and ended up buying a building in Hartford Village. And then I was trained as an architect, so I just started working on it myself.
We also learned that you are a filmmaker. So what has that like? How has that been for you, and what is that like?
You know, working on a film set is so much fun. I got to go to a couple film sets as a kid, and I got to watch them in action, and it was just so much fun to watch people telling a story in movies. A while back, I just decided I wanted to start doing more of it, so I got involved with some local productions and met directors and got hired to do professional productions. And I worked on this show, which is Star Trek Continues. It's a web series, and it was like a recreation of the original Star Trek show from the 60s. And right now I'm not doing anything, but I have a couple projects that I might be working on. I don't know if they're going to happen yet.
You said you were trained as an architect, so how would you say, what things have you worked on or designed here or in other places?
I've done 4 buildings here. I wasn't necessarily the architect on all of them, but I oversaw the architecture. And I've designed a couple of houses and designing one right now. Probably will design a few more.
I heard about, like, you know, some people from, like, who created the Toy Story characters?
Yeah, the guy I met was named Greg Dykstra. He worked on this show, Star Trek Continues, that I worked on. And he was there to he built this whole planet set. So in the old Star Trek, people, they'd beam down to a planet, and it was always this fake rocks and stuff. So he built this huge, like 3,000 square foot interior studio out of fake rocks, and he made this weird ground stuff made of rubber and plaster and all this stuff. Anyway, it looked great. And you know, as I got to know him, I found out he worked for Pixar and what he did for Pixar, and he's a really humble guy and very nice. So when I was in San Francisco, which is where Pixar is, we went there and visited the studios, and he took us on a personal tour around, and we got to meet a lot of the animators.
So when you went to the studio, did you like meet like any other characters from any other like cartoons or anything? Or was it all like Toy Story or?
No, it was all the movies they were working on.
Oh, wow,
and
that's actually
you know,
cool.
I was able to step into people's offices, and I could see the new movies that weren't even out being made.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was fun.